Hello, Mr. Wangsa. Thank you for joining us for this interview with Meghalaya Monitor. For
Mm.
those who do not know you, so here is a brief introduction. Jatwang Wangsa is a teacher in Longding district in Arunachal Pradesh. He is a founding member of the Wancho Literary Mission. But most interestingly, he is a storyteller and he's widely respected among his tribesmen in Arunachal Pradesh. He recently co authored a book, which is a collection of folk tales of the Wancho tribe. So you can visit our website, meghalayamonitor.com, for the full review of the book. Mr. Wangsa, how did you get involved in the project, in the folktale book project?
Thank you, Navamita. It's really a wonderful evening because I'm privileged to talk to you uh, this evening. And thank you very much for organizing this Zoom meet. And first of all, uh, the journey of how this story collection goes, it was like that. Actually, my father was a good storyteller. He used to tell me stories, and he used to sometimes uh, tell me that someday you will lose me, and that time there will be no one to tell you story. Like that, he used to try. He used to try to convince me in that way, but I never took serious to his words.
Okay.
But in 2019,
Mhm.
uh, Dr. Tara Douglas came, and her ambition was to record a story and make an animation film over it. So she came to my village, she visited, and she stayed in my home, and she told me that she need a story. And so from that day onwards, we started collecting stories, and we went to the Upper Wancho villages, Upper Wancho area. Here in Wancho belt, we have two parts. One is upper belt and another is lower belt. So we started collecting stories from the Upper Wancho villages, and we went down uh, the hills. We then up to the mark of the head hunting days, because in those days our people or villagers used to have head hunting, and due to that people used to sit. They used to live on the hilltop uh, as a safety measure. So they used to live that. So we went down, we went to Ninu village also, and we went to Longkai village. Like that, we recorded. Tara is an expert in this electronic objects. So she recorded uh, lots of stories from
Yes.
different people,
Yes.
and then we together uh, again looked back at the video footage,
Yes.
and then we started translating. So I helped her in translating the stories from Wancho to English. And later on, again, the same stories have been again written down by using the Wancho script. We have the independent Wancho script. Fortunately, that Wancho script is encoded to the Unicode.
Okay.
And in that way, we can now write and we can now communicate through social media, through
Right.
Google, and it's a very good achievement for Vancho community.
Right.
So this collection of stories were very interesting. We went to different villages. Uh, we went to different villages and we did lots and lots of recordings, and then again we look back at the recordings and then we translated it. So it was a wonderful moment, very wonderful achievement, and now people feel happy that at least their oral story has been brought out into book form and it is now in a written form. So they feel lucky and they feel happy by seeing the books. And the books contains uh, various topics like the migration story, folk tales, fables, and uh, many things I can say, and we have
Yes.
also some historical account stories also.
Yes.
Uh,
The stories are really
some
interesting.
different stories.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in that way, this book is very wonderful.
Yes. So there are stories about migration. There are stories about
Mm.
war. There are stories about love and man and animal relation, how they coexisted and how the conflict started. So
Mm.
to talk about those stories, are they inspired by life or are they inspiring ways of living among the Wancho people?
Actually, these stories has been told to the Wancho people, to us, I mean, and it has been telling
Mhm.
these stories from since time immemorial. Our elders, my fathers also heard these stories from their elders. We have here in Wancho community, we used to have a, and still in some villages, still it is existing. We have a morong system. Morong is a Assamese word, but we call it as pa. Pa is a kind of institution for male members. They come together, and the elderly people, they tell the stories to the youngsters. They keep on giving the traditional knowledge. Not only stories, they in that institution, in we call it pa, the elderly people, they talk about various subjects, uh, not only stories. They tell uh, the younger generations, the young people about the morality. They teach the disciplined way of life. So in that way, uh, the whole story that belongs to the Vachu community, that belongs to the people.
Yeah.
So this is a collective work. They have told us stories, and just we have recorded. It doesn't mean that we have recorded and it belongs to us. It's not like that. The story belongs to the Vanchu community. Story belongs to the people, storytellers.
Mr. Wangsa, like as you mentioned earlier, that I mean, storytelling is an intrinsic part of the tribe. In fact, has been an
Mm.
intrinsic part of many tribes. However, this practice, what role did they play in the past, and now what is their role?
Yes, see, this storytelling is an art, and it should go on. It should keep going
Mhm.
from one generation to another.
Right.
But since this we have a complex society these days, adopting the modern education system, and for that people have to shift, and they have to go to towns and cities and stay there,
Yes.
because they think that if they settle in their towns and cities, their offsprings, their children can get a better education. So in that way, people are moving from rural village, from the village life to the city life. So in
Yes.
that case, these stories will be endangered. The traditional stories will be endangered. So we need to inculcate. We need to in the book form, and it should be brought out in the textbook
Mhm.
for curriculum, for syllabus also.
Mhm.
So for that, society has to work hard. For that, we need the support from the government also to
Yes.
sustain, to keep hold of these traditional stories. Uh, so we have to think and we have to work on that part also.
Yes.
And as far as these stories are concerned, the stories teach us the disciplined way of life. They teach in this book, Myth, Memory, and Folktales of Wancho. There is one story of uh, the story of the god. In that story, there is a hunting part where the supernatural beings are encountered, or not encountered. It's a countered. Uh, a man meets that supernatural beings and he learns, and he observes how these supernatural beings does. Suppose by sharing meat, they're sharing the hunted meat. So he hears from behind the bush that the supernatural beings are talking about the disciplined life. They are talking about the equal distribution of food or meat, I mean. So in that way, this disciplined way of distributing meat, distributing food, or community sharing, they got to learn from that lesson. In that way, our ancestors, our elderly people, they say that we got to know this moral life. We got to know this disciplined way of life from that stories. So still we practice. It's their narrative or there is their opinion. So we still think that the stories that helps to the community to bind up, to stay together, to help each other, then it's good. Suppose in city life we can see that city life has become more individualistic. They don't care about, suppose if the neighbors is falling sick, then it doesn't care. That's the way of city life. But in still in the village life in our area, especially in Wancho community, still we live in a community. The house is to be constructed, and the people from neighboring and this community, so they come together and they help to the helpless people for building up the house. The way of living in a community is directly learned from this kind of stories. So in that way, it's beneficial to the Wancho people. I mean,
Right. So, this book is actually a good initiative to collect folk tales, okay, in a way to
mm.
preserve not only your story, but your tradition, your culture. So far, how much of your oral history has been documented? Apart from this book, how much of your oral history has been documented?
When we talk of documenting this oral stories, so far the reading materials or the write-ups on this Wancho stories are limited. It is on countable on fingers. I can say that in that way because our community has evolved very slowly. The education has come very slowly here. The development has come very slowly here. So even because of the poor road connectivity, many scholars, many writers cannot come from outside, and not only that, uh, since I think since couple of years back, it is granted in this Longding district because I live in the Wancho community and the Wancho community is situated in Longding district. So in that way, many scholars could not come because of lots of inner line pass issues or the permit issues, I can say. So because of that permit issues, people could not come here, and our people slowly there now it's coming up. Our people are now realizing the fact that stories should be recorded, should be brought out in a book form or in a written form. So now it's improving, but so far we have a limited book, we have a limited reading materials, so we have to work more on that. And I think we need to work on this lower Wancho belt stories of the lower Wancho belt also.
Okay.
And these stories are not enough. So far we have recorded 32 stories.
Yes.
These stories are not, we have lots and lots of stories which needs to be recorded, which needs to be brought into written form.
Mr. Wangsa, can you please tell us something about the Wancho script? I mean, how was it developed and how is it being nurtured? Especially, I mean, what is the role of the Wancho Literary Mission in doing so?
Wancho script is developed by, as I have mentioned earlier, also Mr. Banwang Losu. He's one of my close friend,
Mhm.
and he's he belongs to my village, Kamhonok, no.
Okay.
So that it's a very interesting part. He developed that script based on the tonal because this tribal, especially our area, our region, this tribal language is based on the tonal language. It's a tonal form. So with the change of tone, the meaning also change.
Okay.
Suppose we have three formulas:
Okay.
upper, middle, and lower part. So when we say m- my means mid, little bit lower, that is called good.
Okay.
And my, my suppose I will start from my lower finger. My, 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 my. Here you have three forms of the sounds. So with these sounds, meaning changes. But
Oh,
if we write this similar word in English, it will be simply mai, and that will not hold the actual meaning of the subject particular point. So based on that, our script has been invented, and we have 44 alphabets,
okay.
15 vowels,
Okay.
24 consonants, like that. So it's very interesting, and I'm also a part of Wancho Literary Mission.
Mhm.
And since right from the beginning, I have been associated with this Wancho script work. I have helped script writer. Even then, I worked hard with that. I very closely worked with that author, that
Mhm.
inventor, the script writer, Mr. Losu.
Mhm.
And I can write, I can type, I can write Wancho script very well. And I am also one of the contributor for this Wancho textbook content. So
Okay.
we have developed, so far we have developed books for class 6, 7, and 8. In that
Okay.
also I have contributed articles, a subject, or many more cultural stuffs. So
Okay.
we have planned to, so first of all, topics like based on the culture, based on our cultural stuffs. So we have put festivals, we have put cultural thing in that book
Mhm.
also. So
Okay.
that book, it's a very interesting book. And now that book has been printed out by SCERT, State Educational
Okay.
Research and Training, from
Okay.
Itanagar. So
Okay.
some good developments are going on under the
Okay.
banner of Wancho Literary Mission. Mm.
Okay. Okay. And what kind of help?
So far, uh, since the advent of this new education policy, so government is trying to help help out with many things. Like they have help in printing out this Wancho book, which is written using this script. So now government is trying to help us. Government is helping us, but this individual development, or if someone is trying to write a book using this Vanchu script, then in that case, we need someone's help. We need help from someone who really wants to contribute something for other community. So suppose, for example, I'm saying I have translated these stories, this the same storybook which Tara Douglas and me have written down. That has been written down completely using this Vancho script. But
Okay.
still, leaders also, but
Right.
they say that they would help, but they haven't yet. So still we're expecting, but uh, yeah, it's getting delayed.
Okay.
So we need help from outside who wants
Right.
to help that in that field also for
Right.
printing out books. It doesn't cost much.
So, what script do you use? Do you also use Roman script like the Khasi and the Garo languages?
No, no, no. This Vancho script is an independent symbol.
Okay.
The alphabet is an independent symbol. We have the
Okay.
symbol based on our cultural background.
Okay. Okay.
Suppose, for example, I'm saying O, O sound. We have a O symbol.
Okay.
That particular O symbol resembles to the chicken neck. And here, O means bird. O
Oh,
means bird. So in that way,
okay.
the learner can grasp the alphabet very easily.
Okay. Okay.
So the script writer has developed in such a way that it can be learned easily.
as you said, like, I mean, based on the tonality of the words, the script also has
Mm,
been, uh, I mean, has been developed like that.
yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
we have tonal marks also.
okay, okay,
Uh, High pitch tone, low middle pitch, and low pitch. So for that three tones, we have different tonal marks.
right, right.
Mm.
I think your cat was also getting interested in the stories that you were saying. So the cat also was joining you.
Yeah, cat is every time just disturbing. Yeah. Uh,
Mr. Wangsa, now in today's time, how many storytellers are there?
yeah, yeah, it's a very sad part to say that many storytellers have gone.
Hmm.
And when any storyteller goes away from this world, it is something like uh, the whole library is gone. It's like
Right.
that. In my village also, there are countable storytellers.
Mm-hmm.
Since couple of years back, since we have seen a drastic downfall of storytellers,
Right.
and it's a very sad part. Before that things happen, we need to record all the narratives, oral
Right.
narratives, stories.
Right.
Not only stories, we have to record the cultural cultural stuffs, cultural
Right.
topics, like how they used to celebrate festival, how
Mhm.
they used to uh,
Right.
enjoy different occasions, how they used to work in the field in a
Right.
community spirit, and record the how herbal medicines, traditional herbal medicines, like how uh, our ancestors, our forefathers used to heal by using these herbal medicines which were available around them.
Yes.
So this is very interesting one. We need to record that, and for that also again we need some kind of support. We need some kind of logistic support.
Thank you again so much, Mr. Wangsa, for sharing here and also the journey of the tribe and how you're, I mean, taking initiatives to keep the language alive. A time when many tribal languages are disappearing. So, thank you so much and all the best for your initiatives. And we all hope that you get the help that you are looking for to publish the books, to write more books and document the stories of your
Mhm.
tribe. Thank you again.
Thank you. Most welcome. Most welcome.